9 abnormal phenomena have appeared in Beijing. The economy is in depression. Everything looks bleak. This is Beijing, the capital, a first-tier city, not a third-tier city. Where have all these people gone? The country's largest wholesale market? Let me show you. It's packed with people. You can't get through. Let me show you this aisle. What's wrong with this market? The storefronts used to sell for millions a year, but they were hard to get. Look at it now. On March 25th, I don't know if any of my friends from other places are still looking for jobs in Beijing. Let's take a look at these physical stores, such as Anta, these restaurants, and Qingfeng Baozi shop, all of which are closed. There are many more electric cars. This is our economy. The situation in other places can only be worse than in Beijing. So, if you are looking for a job in Beijing, you should be cautious. As far as I know, a friend of mine just had dinner yesterday, and then one of his fellow villagers came over. He couldn't find a suitable job in Beijing for 3 months. Now the situation is similar. Everyone should be cautious when looking for a job in Beijing. It's 1:40 p.m. on Sunday. Let's take a look at this mall that is not very popular and is a little desolate. We are now on the 3rd floor of its West District. In fact, there used to be quite a few stores. Now it is closed, including Pizza Hut. We are now on the 3rd floor of the East area. It is mainly for children to play. There are also some clothing stores. It is not very popular. We went down from the 3rd floor of the East area to the 2nd floor. The 2nd floor was supposed to be mainly for selling clothes, but now it seems that most of them are closed. This one is on, but it is actually not open on Sundays. There were many stores open before. Let's take a look. Look inside. They should have been clothing stores before. Let's take a look. They are all closed. In addition to this side, let's take a look at the opposite side. It is also closed. All the shops there are closed. These shops were once open. The brand names are still there, but they haven't reopened for a long time. I didn't expect it to be so deserted. Look, they are all for urgent sale. See? For rent and sale, right? Do you know why they are for rent and sale? They only want to sell, not rent. They can't be sold at all. If you see someone still alive, he must be a veteran, right? Don't think that just because there are still businesses there, you can survive. You may often find that you really can't make it. This netizen said that renting out popular shops is one of the biggest lies in China today. He said that the occupancy rate of these communities is actually very high, so why is business so bad? It's a question of everyone's income. To be honest, everyone is out of money. The blogger said that in previous years, a real estate agent in Beijing would have his phone flooded with calls from tenants returning to Beijing at this time of year, with an average of at least 5 groups viewing properties every day. However, this year, there were no appointments for 3 consecutive days. The landlord of a 2-bedroom apartment in R&F City, Chaoyang District, Beijing, reduced the rent from 12,000 yuan to 9,500 yuan, but the number of viewings is less than 1/3 of that of the same period last year. The price of a house in Xi'an was reduced 3 times in 2 months, but still, no one was renting it. What is even more heartbreaking is that according to statistics from real estate agencies, more than 30% of old and dilapidated houses in Beijing have remained unsold for 3 months. She analyzed that the reason for this situation is that current tenants born in the 1990s and 2000s require that the building must have an elevator and that the home must have smart features. According to survey statistics, 62% of tenants born after 1990 refuse to climb stairs, and 74% require smart furniture. The second reason is that Beijing has added 214,000 new rental housing units in 3 years, which has impacted the rental market. The third reason is that young people have left. Beijing has lost 870,000 migrant workers in the past 4 years, and the main tenants aged 25 to 35 have decreased by 21%. Now that the people are gone, who should these houses be rented to? Why did young people leave? Because there are fewer jobs, young people can't make money and can only return to their hometowns or move to low-cost cities. The attractiveness of Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen is no longer as strong as before. Some netizens summarize that 9 abnormal phenomena have occurred in Beijing recently. In addition to the aforementioned deserted shopping malls, the closure, sale, and transfer of a large number of physical stores, and the fact that many young people have fled Beijing and cannot rent out their houses, there are also. Friends, what do you think is the reason for these strange phenomena? everyone is welcome to leave a message in the comment section. Economic depression, the CCP wields the knife of tax inspection, and online live broadcasters suffer. The CCP's economic situation remains depressed. Finances are getting tighter and tax revenues are continuously falling. For this reason, the CCP tax department has begun targeting internet celebrities and live broadcasters for tax inspections. People believe this indirectly proves that the CCP is truly out of money. Chinese blogger, the economy is down, finances are tight, and live broadcast e-commerce has also become a key regulatory target. The State Administration of Taxation of the Communist Party of China reported on April 1st that last year, several typical cases of tax evasion involving online anchors, celebrity artists, and equity transfers were investigated and dealt with. Among them, 169 online anchors were investigated, with a total income of 899 million yuan. Li Hengqing, an economist at the Washington Information and Strategic Institute. In the past, there was no clear tax law for the live broadcast industry, meaning there was no defined tax rate for its business activities. This is actually a major gap in China. The CCP state media once vigorously promoted the internet celebrity economy, claiming that the industry had become an important sector of China's economic development. At present, China's economy is depressed, the real estate market has collapsed, and the government's finances are tight. It is widely believed that the authorities are resorting to tax inspections as a means of seizing money from all possible sources. Li Hengqing, one of the main reasons they are doing this now is that they have no money. They will try every possible method to collect money from all available sources. Mr. Li, a citizen of Xinzhou, Shaanxi, everything has basically collapsed, especially as many places are unable to pay government salaries and many county-level TV stations have shut down. In our Xinzhou, Shaanxi last year in Xi'an County, the local tax bureau and its leaders admitted that by the end of December, only half of the county's fiscal and tax revenue targets had been met, and half of the government's salaries remained unpaid. Over the past year, the Chinese internet has been flooded with reports of local governments using various pretexts to plunder funds in order to sustain their operations. Some so-called retrospective investigations for 30 years force private enterprises to repay taxes. Others involve distant sea fishing, where police are sent across regions to arrest or detain entrepreneurs to coerce payments. The latest data released by the Ministry of Finance of the Communist Party of China shows that last year, national tax revenue decreased by 3.4% compared to the previous year. However, non-tax revenue increased by 25.4% over the same period. The real figures remain unknown. Analysts believe that although these measures have temporarily increased revenue, they have severely damaged business and public confidence. Li Hengqing. As a result, many enterprises will simply shut down. Ultimately, the consequence will be that tax sources will shrink further, forcing the government to keep extorting the few remaining ones. In the end, the government itself will collapse.
Has everyone's consumption level dropped? My wife and I have truly downgraded. Last year, we watched fireworks at the beach on New Year's Eve. This year, we stayed home and drank millet porridge together. I used to buy my wife bags and give her cosmetics worth hundreds of dollars on her birthday, surprising her with small gifts during festivals. We often went to the movies, dined out, and spent time with friends playing escape rooms, reading scripts, or enjoying milk tea and hot pot, spending hundreds of dollars in a single day. Over the past 2 years, our entertainment has moved online. Now, I just watch TV at home in my free time. In the past, I could easily purchase memberships to watch dramas, but now I'm like an online beggar, constantly searching for free resources. For gatherings with friends, they now prefer cooking at home, playing board games and chatting. My wife hasn't bought a new bag in a long time, and I haven't upgraded my phone in 4 years. Even if you're not earning much, you can always cut back on spending during this Great Depression. Now, Beijing's consumption downgrade is obvious. In the past, people flocked to malls at noon, but now parks have become the go-to check-in spots. Takeout has shifted from ordering Starbucks to Happy Lemon, and after-work dinners have gone from hot pot to food stalls. These are real changes. One netizen commented that major companies in Beijing, such such as JD.com and Meituan, are cutting salaries and laying off employees, not to mention smaller companies. Even the bosses themselves are struggling. Many companies are now delaying last month's salary payments. Walking through the streets, you'll often see shops suddenly put up for rent or transfer. It's increasingly clear that very few people in Beijing are genuinely making money now. For ordinary office workers, many rely on credit cards to get by. I earn over 10,000 yuan a month, but nearly half of it goes toward rent. The rest is used to pay off my credit card. Now, we call it a consumption downgrade, but to put it bluntly, no one has money in their pockets. Young people in Beijing don't even need to save money anymore. It's already great if they don't owe money. This is the current situation of young people in Beijing. No wonder people say this year has seen the most severe consumption downgrade. Just look at the current prices in Shanghai. 1 pair of Snowfly, 2 pairs of Lee, 2 pairs of Skechers, and 1 pair of Vans. Hello? A total of 6 items cost just 432 yuan. The average price per item is only a little over 70 yuan, and they're all big brands like Skechers and Vans. It really shows how bad the economic situation is. Recently, the consumption downgrade in first-tier cities has been shocking. Whether in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, or Shenzhen, the once booming consumption trend has gradually faded, replaced by people tightening their belts and holding onto their wallets. Have you noticed how once bustling shopping malls are now deserted? High-end restaurants are even quieter, and those who used to drink Starbucks are now turning to Mixu City. The chain reaction caused by the consumption downgrade has begun, and the first industry to be hit is the tea industry. Milk tea shops are now engaged in a life-and-death elimination match. In the first half of 2024, Nayuki lost 440 million yuan. Chabaidao's revenue fell by 10%, and its net profit plunged nearly 60%. With many tea shops closing, second-hand equipment has become unsellable. Recyclers bought dozens of sets for 60,000 to 70,000 yuan, but sold them as scrap for just 2,000 yuan. Octopus Brother, a recycler, noted that chains like Gu Ming and Chabaidao once lasted 2 to 3 years, but now shut down in just months, with newer equipment reflecting the shortening life cycle of tea shops. The second industry to be hit by the consumption downgrade is catering. Chinese catering media outlet Red Restaurant Network reported that over the past year, many types of restaurants, including coffee shops, bakeries, hot pot establishments, tea houses, buffets, snack bars, and fast food chains, have quietly disappeared. Closure has become the buzzword of China's catering industry in 2024, with negative news about store closures, withdrawals, and bankruptcies spreading continuously. According to statistics, nearly 3 million restaurants closed last year, setting a record high. After 12 years in the Chinese market, the well-known Taiwanese brand Hoda Chicken Steak suddenly announced last month that it would close all its Chinese stores. Thousands in Shenzhen lose jobs daily as China's economy worsens with no way out. I have been in Shenzhen for more than a month. I have interviewed with over 100 companies, and more than 90 have accepted me, but none truly wanted me. Yesterday, one company told me I passed the interview and asked me to report today. But when I arrived, they told me again, "We already have a better candidate." I thought to myself, am I really that bad? I can't find a job, my wallet is empty, I can't pay rent, and I still have water and electricity bills to cover. The employment situation in 2024 is severe, as seen in Shenzhen, a first-tier city with a developed economy and abundant job opportunities. According to authoritative statistics, the number of newly registered unemployed people in Shenzhen surged by 40% year-on-year in the first quarter of this year, directly reflecting the current job market pressure. Additionally, the South China Morning Post recently cited the main indicators of labor and social security in the first quarter of 2024, released by the Shenzhen Human Resources and Social Security Bureau. The data showed 40,221 newly registered unemployed people in Shenzhen, a significant 40% increase from 28,703 during the same period last year, and a 15% rise compared to the fourth quarter of last year. A Weibo analysis pointed out that many unemployed people do not register, meaning a large number remain unnoticed. Some netizens even claim Shenzhen is no longer suitable for working. Furthermore, many Shenzhen residents have moved to Guangzhou to seek jobs and opportunities. What is the real situation in Shenzhen now? Some listed companies in Nanshan can't even pay wages. In more extreme cases, companies operating normally one day receive group notifications to dissolve by the evening. One client shared that companies now avoid direct layoffs by assigning impossible tasks. If you can do them, fine. If not, you're forced to leave. Over the past 2 years, I've met many business owners. Some, even under financial strain, would take loans to pay employees. But unscrupulous bosses simply don't care. It's not just companies. Many roadside shops are also struggling to stay afloat. This month, to be blunt, even rent isn't fully covered. Honestly, not many are earning well in Shenzhen this year. Many office workers are robbing Peter to pay Paul, and their monthly income can't even cover interest on online loans or credit cards. One housewife lamented her understanding of Shenzhen's dire job market this year. She shared that her husband has been laid off for 5 months, and she has been jobless for 3 months. Neither has found a job yet. Job opportunities, let alone suitable ones, are scarce. In this situation, finding a job seems harder than finding a partner. Many resonate with my videos, saying they were laid off at 30 and can't find work. They wonder what's wrong with society. Yesterday, I watched a video of an elderly man in Hong Kong, at least 80 years old, trembling and barely able to walk, but still working in uniform. Meanwhile, I'm 40 years old and unemployed, with 15 years left until retirement. For the next 15 years, my parents and children will still depend on me. I don't mind labor-intensive jobs, but when I lift bricks, I can't hold my children. I feel deeply disappointed. Do you know how many people are unemployed in Shenzhen now? Some are as young as 35 and have been jobless for over a year. In some groups, 6 people might chat, and 4 of them are unemployed. Colleagues who worked hard yesterday suddenly disappear today. Food delivery workers are multiplying. Over 20,000 reportedly register for Didi Daily. Yesterday's office workers are today's delivery riders. Many couples, burdened with car and house loans, have both lost their jobs. IT workers earning 20,000 to 30,000 yuan a month are now marginalized, and no one even knows the true scale of unemployment.